Madonna, Shelby, and we're going to do the supraspinatus. So talk about the central meridian, the supraspinatus. It's the very first muscle you ever learn in Touch for Health. So the thing about it is that it feeds the conscious brain. It's a great little muscle for neck pain because the supraspinatus runs from here to here on both sides. It's that one when we're feeling that burning in our neck, it's often involved. So, but the great thing about kinesiology, of course, is things can be first, second or third levels of stress, and we'll have a play and see what we can do. So firstly, no, you don't need to do that, sorry, that's just me going into my habit. Okay, so the test itself. So basically what you want to do, the arm's aiming towards the belly button, and you want it fairly low because as soon as it's up further, you're getting all the other shoulder muscles into action. So basically it should only be about 6 to 8 inches away from the body. Okay, hold up, I want you to resist. And basically if it's going to lock, that's what's going to do it. And hold up for me. Beautiful. Now if it's working correctly, we should be able to run the meridian backwards 3 times and it should unlock. Now the central meridian runs from the pubic bone to the chin. These are the points we use. They're the needling points in acupuncture, and in Touch for Health we use this meridian as a central meridian. So it runs along the mid-center of the body, and there's 24 points on there that we use in kinesiology, and basically by running it up towards the brain, that's the direction the meridian flows, and that will always keep it locked unless something weird is going on, but 99.9% of the time it's going to keep it locked. If we then run that meridian backwards and hold, and it's unlocking. Not much energy in there at all. Okay, so let's go back up again. So you might need to do it 6 or 8 or 10 times if the meridian is really overworking. And because it's to do with the conscious brain, your body can, like, you know, on a day when you're doing heaps of study or something, your conscious brain gets exhausted. And for a while there it can work really, really hard to keep you focused and concentrating. And hold. And hold. Now the thing about the central meridian, and this is what I love about kinesia, if you can ask it, you can check it. So if you ask about something stressful and it unlocks, it means you can balance that in relation to that stressful thing. So let's just ask in relation to any and all stress around the dentist. Okay, I did it. I'm just going to do it. So when so there's a few ways of checking in relation to specific things in kinesiology. I use a combination of 3 different things. So I use a SIPS point, which is my little recording point on the right shoulder. So it's just behind the shoulder right here, and you switch that little point on, and that's like a recording point. So I press that, I switch it on, which is with the stacking points. And then I use a body talk technique. I say in relation to any and all stresses around the dentist. So that's saying, okay brain, okay heart. Then I switch off the recording point so I've got it stacked in, and then hold. And there goes the brain, because let's face it, any and all stresses around the dentist are any and all stresses around the dentist. So another little point, so we can use the meridian, but another one we can do is these little points on the inside of the shoulders. They're called the neurolymphatic points for the central or the supraspinatus. So central meridian, supraspinatus muscle. The general rule of thumb for neurolymphatics is about 20 seconds. I probably do 5-10 seconds in the clinic because I do lots of things. So I'll sort of rub those little guys. I'll run the central meridian. But the other thing that is quite good for the central is the neurolymphatics on the back of the neck. So just sort of from here to here, behind the neck, giving those a little bit of a rub. And always make sure you use the pads of your fingers. You don't want someone's bony little fingers poking around in the back of your neck, not so pleasant, but you know, the pads of your fingers feel quite nice. And the other one is the ESR points. So ESR are emotional stress release points, so they're halfway between your eyebrows and your hairline, or for the guys, where your hairline used to be. And you just hold those little points until they pulse. Okay, so once again I'm going to go back into my little recording point behind the shoulder blade on the right in relation to any and all stress around the dentist. And hold, and that's now locking, and hold, which means we've given the conscious brain a bit of a pattern to help to cope with dental stuff. Now, one of the other things that's very cool about the central meridian is that it's linked in with the celestial circuit. So there's a whole video on celestial circuit, but I'll just do a reminder of it now. So because this is using two meridians, one's the governing meridian, which feeds the unconscious brain, and one's the central meridian, which feeds the conscious brain. So it's beginning and end points of the central, beginning and end points of the governing, so that's tailbone and above the lips. And then there's 3 points on the roof of the mouth. I do it automatically, so it's sort of behind the teeth, the roof of the mouth, and as far back on the roof of the mouth as you can. So I always stack them in and hold, and that's locking nicely. So if it's an unlock, it means that that connection isn't working very well, but that's working beautifully. Once again, let's ask into any and all past or future stresses around the dentist. And hold, and there it goes. Well, past or future, let's face it, that's a big ask. Okay, so it's the right side of the body, which is the masculine, it's the doing. Not that women don't do, that's not what I mean, but we all have a male and female side, so it's the doing side of the brain that's like, I have to do all this dental stuff. How'd you go with the actual needle itself?
Oh yeah, I don't have any problems with the needles.
So what is it for you with the dentist?
I've never really had a problem with dentists before.
Yeah, right, okay.
I just put the wisdom teeth off because I thought it would be expensive, or they'd have
Yeah, right. Yeah. So more monetary.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And you do hear horror stories.
Oh yeah. My father-in-law had them take the wrong tooth out.
Oh, wow, that's why.
Yeah, so when I started thinking they took the wrong tooth out, I kind of went, now I understand why Nick has problems with this.
Mm.
He cannot see the dentist now. He'd rather put up with it himself.
One of my ladies in her 50s had really bad jaw pain for a long time. She's had 4 teeth removed that were all wrong. Nothing wrong with them when they were removed. Bit by bit, she would just be so desperate that they would just rip another tooth out, and it just did not sort out that pain for her.
Poor thing.
Anytime I'm thinking central supraspinatus, I also think celestial circuit. And hold, beautiful. Now in applied kinesiology, there's also a wide supraspinatus test. Hold down, that's perfect, and hold down. So, and Charles Krebs did a course with him a few years ago. He was saying that it relates very much specifically to the spleen. Have you ever had tonsillitis, glandular fever, any of those things, or you've not been a throat girl?
No.
Any particular allergies that you know of?
I
You're
don't
not much of
think
an
I have.
allergy girl, are you?
I've noticed the last couple of times I get sick, my voice goes a little bit, but that's
Okay.
really about it.
Yeah, right. So that's quite... Well, just let's ask in relation to any and all allergies. See if anything shows. Hold. No.
Yeah, no allergies I'm aware of.
Hold. Any
Except
and all
green ants.
intolerance. Except what?
Green ants.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say green veggies.
Oh.
So in relation to any and all intolerances. And hold. Beautiful. So, no, good spleen energy, but it's quite a different test, obviously, to this one. Okay. So that's central meridian. Immune system. Oh no, that's the wide one. Okay, so the main correction points, the little guys on the inside of the shoulders, the ESR points, the central meridians, and the little spots behind the neck. Good, good. Excellent. Thank you. Round 1.